I think it's more about like a respect thing. If you're in a country, like at least pick up the culture, like, learn about it, adapt to it.
Definitely. That's what I did in primary school. My school encouraged learning about the Scottish culture. I ended up learning how to play the bagpipes. So yeah, bro, bagpipes. I joined a bagpipe band. I wore a kilt. I had my own kilt. Went to bagpipe competitions. It was interesting to learn about the Scottish culture. Yeah. What's good, fam? If you don't know me, my name is Dami Fadun, and I'm back in Glasgow today with my guys. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, so it's exciting to finally do it. We're gonna talk about growing up black in Scotland. Do you guys wanna introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Toby Gonzalo. I'm Nigerian as well, and I'm currently going into Prejudices University.
What's good, people? It's your boy Mike Daffy. I'm also Nigerian as well as being Irish. I'm currently living in Glasgow as well, and I'm studying audio engineering.
Yeah.
I'm going in my second year.
Nice. So to kick off the video, I'm gonna say a quick disclaimer. This is our experiences, personal experiences in Scotland. So yeah, don't come for us like for any opinions you say. Quick background on me, I'm Nigerian as well. I moved to Scotland when I was 7 years old. What's your connection to Scotland?
Yeah, I'd say I'm the same as well. I moved to Scotland when I was around 7 years old as well. I was born in New York, America, so I moved from there.
Steady.
Moved from there, lived in Nigeria for a bit, and then in Nigeria I moved from there to Scotland.
But you guys came here when you were young. I moved to Scotland when I was 9. So it's only 2 year difference. But coming from Ireland and moving here, culture is actually quite similar.
Yeah.
The initial purpose of me moving here was for studying. I wanted her research.
Yeah.
And she found that it became the education system here is very good.
Yeah.
So obviously she saw that opportunity and capitalized from it,
Yeah. I moved all the way from Africa, bro. It was a bit of a more drastic change. First thing we're gonna touch on is, when did you realize that you were black? So when did you realize that you were different from your Scottish peers?
Do you know what it is? I would say it hit you immediately, Rob. For me personally, because obviously we came from, Africa, straight from Africa to Scotland. There's a big difference. I know there's New York for me, but my memory of that is very faded.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference when you go from Africa straight to Scotland. There's a big culture difference.
What were those differences though? Like, is there any specific moments?
Definitely the accent.
Accent.
Okay.
That's Glaswegian dialect, bro. Bro, Glaswegian dialect was hard. I'll say that's probably one of my biggest challenges coming here. When people would talk to me, I'd find myself trying to read the lips. What you saying?
Another thing was there was not much black people in my class. There were all a few black people, but the majority of people were white. Coming from a place where most of the people I've known were black, it was just a stark contrast. You just know that you're different.
I felt that because I was a minority here, there was a sort of I wouldn't say identity crisis, but it's because you're here, you always have this thing in the back of your mind that okay, I'm a minority here, and I need to make the most of it. I also need to prove my worth. How can I see this video make sense?
You're meant to be here. You're meant to be to achieve something. Yeah. Coming from Nigeria, you know that I'm more fortunate to be here, so I have to constantly make sure I take advantage of being in Scotland, being in the UK.
There's almost like a pressure.
It's still to this day as well. Now I'm older, I'm more aware of it. And I've obviously found methods to obviously coping with it as well.
Let's touch on cultural identity. You mentioned it, identity and cultural duality. Did you assimilate? What was your process? Did you try to fight the Scottish culture? Let's touch on accent. How did you start developing the accent?
I can't lie, I'm never gonna try and be on the bush. I did not want to develop a Scottish accent.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I didn't want to, because obviously moving here, my experience with dealing with Scottish people, because I was Irish.
Yeah.
What tended to happen was that there was a lot of conflict between me and Ranger fans.
Oh yes.
The Celtic fans absolutely love me, but it's there was that sort of fear of developing a Scottish accent, because I don't know, I looked at it at a negative light, but then after a while I started finding myself picking up certain phrases saying the word I, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it just grew on me. Then after a while, I started to understand Glaswegian dialect. What I found out was that I think that they were being rude. Because they're not actually rude. And then after a while, it took me a while to pick up that. That's just the way it goes.
I'd say mine's a little bit different. I'd say it came naturally. I didn't really think much of it. But I can see over the years, if I look back on memories, videos from the past, I can see there's a difference. There's a difference in tone and slangs that I pick up as well. And most black people would say there's a switch.
As soon as
do it.
The code switch,
because it's you're at school the way you talk at school or with your friends is a little bit different to how you speak at home to your mum and other Nigerians.
For me, I knew how to speak Yoruba really well, so I struggled to develop my Scottish accent. Even to this day, my Scottish accent is not as good as other black people's Scottish accent. I just don't. I don't know. It didn't really make sense. And I understand what you said about when Scottish people are like say something and it sounds aggressive. Or they can insult you, but it's not just because they're vexed. It's just how the language is.
How it is. That's how it is. Yeah.
Do you guys remember like the first few Scottish words or phrases that you learned?
The first, just basics off the top of my head, I'd probably just say aye.
Alright.
What does that mean?
Just means like yes. Just like regular was like canny, name, whatever.
Canny be better, man. The Scottish accent is still there.
Yeah, I say it's still there. I can switch it.
It's hard to do a Scottish accent.
Yeah, it's hard to put on this spot,
it's hard to do it.
You need the people there,
It actually is. It's tough to like speak with a Scottish accent without swearing.
It's hard to even do it like without the people being there.
Because when I go uni outside of Scotland now and people like put on a Scottish accent, you don't speak Scottish.
So I can't do it back.
I can't.
Do you know Scottish? That's what it is with me. Like it just depends on who I'm talking to. So like obviously like growing up in my household, I grew up in a Nigerian household. So I talk to my mom like using like pidgin English, stuff like that. But then when I'm talking to my friends, like it's more just normal English. But then like when I'm talking to, say for instance in school, I was surrounded and I was in a place that was predominantly white people. So like how I would speak to them, I would try and pick up like the way they speak so that they could understand me. Because obviously if I was to speak in like my Nigerian accent, they would understand me. So it's more about being able to adapt in like what environment you're in and like respecting the culture. You know what I mean? So that's what I did over the years, and then that's how like I managed to develop the Scottish accent.
It's almost like an effort having to explain if they don't understand you. Like, sorry, I can't understand you. You have to repeat yourself and explain what the point you're trying to get across.
I think it's more about like a respect thing as well. Like if you're in a country, like at least pick up the culture, like, learn about it, adapt to it.
Definitely.
So the people from there can see that okay, this person is like foreigner, but like, at least they're trying. That sort of connection can also be built.
That's what I did in primary school. My school encouraged learning about the Scottish culture. That I ended up learning how to play the bagpipes. So bagpipes. I joined a bagpipe band. I wore a kilt. I had my own kilt. Went to bagpipe competitions. It was interesting to learn about the Scottish culture and it's stuff like Braveheart, the movie, Macintosh, and
like shortbread.
Stuff like that. I think it's important to make an effort to, you live in Scotland, so you might as well learn that when you're young. Okay, challenges growing up in Scotland. So this can involve, prejudice, racism, discrimination. Did you ever face anything like that growing up in Scotland?
Sometimes it's, I was in primary school, secondary school, so fair enough we were younger. But sometimes it's like, it's hidden. And some things people say or people do. I say, just for example, it's like someone turns off the light.
Like, I forgot what I was. When you told me go?
Where is he? Just like, that's definitely one.
Coming to Scotland when I was 7, oh my days, I think racism was bad. Like genuinely, it's got better over the years now. Growing up in Scotland especially, it was just bad. The bullying was insane. They'll be calling you fresh off the boat. It was the racism back in the day was insane. It wasn't even microaggression, it was just like blatant racism and it was quite bad.
I feel like some people are more direct with it, but then there's people that there's like a lot of indirect racism as well, like behind like some questions they will ask you. Say for instance like
there's one I pick it up. Go.
Even like in football, like like they will look at you like you're a workhorse. You're so sit up. It's like obviously like it's a compliment, but it's like I know you're just saying that because I'm black. You would say that to someone else, but it's like the thing with racism is like I don't really allow it to get to me as much because it's like obviously growing up in Ireland as well. Like, obviously it's different for you guys because you came straight from Nigeria. You came from New York, wasn't it? And you live in Nigeria as well, so like you guys have grew up like in a country that's predominantly black. Like I've always grew up like in a place in a white environment, so it's like it's not. I'm not saying like I'm accepting of it or I agree with it, but it's like I've learned to like come up with ways to tackle it and not allow it to affect me as much.
When you were saying like the questions they would ask you would be like, I don't know, did you have lions as pets and stuff like that, right?
No one as well.
It's just blatant ignorance.
One as well is like when it's sports day and the people that you're raising like, oh, he's black, he's automatically black.
If you're black, you're either centre back, right back, left back, or striker, or winger. You can't be creative because you're black. If you're in groups, you can't. You're violent. You're a gangster. If you're
in school,
in school as well.
They don't like when black people were like. In my school, to be more precise, if like black people were like in a group, they were like, oh, it's like that. We're laughing too loud, or you're being aggressive. Some people find it intimidating. Just little things like that. But
nowadays, we just look back and just like almost laugh at it. That's funny.
That's funny. Racism in school was big as well. There was stuff like the N-word pass. Like, what even is that? That does not exist. You don't get a pass to be racist.
Yeah, mate, can I get a no pass?
And there was some black people as well that were literally like,
do it as well. What are you doing?
It was stuff like that was just really, it's just really annoying, man.
Another one that's properly common is like people that are tanned. They're like, almost like
don't get me started on this one, bro.
Girls mostly, they're like, I'm almost the same colour as you, you know what I mean? You're patchy tan. You talking a bit, man. That was annoying. Or like, they just come and touch your hair.
Touch your hair, can I feel your hair?
The touching of her is a bit crazy.
Sometimes they don't ask, but you still touch it anyway. It's like, what's the point asking?
I'd say probably when you're younger, like S1 to S3, people didn't ask, they just came up to you, just start touching it. It's
annoying as well, especially like when you spend time combing out, making it even, just come touch it. It's like,
it was a battle, man. Battle. Do you guys ever try to, I don't know, like, you see white people's hair and like, they always try to copy with your hairstyle. I don't know.
When it was raining, you know, these spikes.
You're trying to copy, I don't know, just the Bieber side, man. Like,
Justin Bieber's crazy.
I was I definitely attempted to like do this when I was younger.
The time I knew I had hope, it was when I seen what's his name, David Alaba, when he had
it's like,
oh my days.
Lots of people like relax their hair to like.
I tried to do S-Code, but my mom left it in too long, so it came out straight. So that's why I just had to charge it,
But yeah, let's touch on finding community in Scotland as a black person. Did you guys have much black friends outside of your school community?
I'll say maybe like primary school, I had like one black friend. Obviously after that, transitioned into secondary school. First year, still was kind of struggling. And after a while, like, I was growing older, started joining the football team, meet more black people, and then from there, like that's when like I came in contact with like some of my close boys that I still talk to this day. And then obviously going to church as well. And like going to different church conferences, stuff like that. There was this main conference called Trailblazers.
Oh, Trailblazers, that's
cool. That's what brought a lot of like the black community in Scotland together. For me, my personal agree to that. So I think that's how like, started making friends, following people on Instagram here and there, talking Snapchat. That's my experience anyway.
I would say that I'm the same. So the black people I would know are people that are local to me. Manny from all the way up in Somerset, Govan.
I don't care
but areas like that are further away from me, I didn't really know people. I would say up until secondary time is when I started to know, black people outside, my community. So I would say through football. Football was a big part. That's how you make most of your friends, I would say.
Football again for me, that was the main one. Join the team, you play leagues, you go to different parts of Glasgow, even Scotland as well. You're doing parts you don't know. It's like you're exploring Scotland game after game, and you come across different black people and other teams as well. I think the football is a big main part. What's the main sports in Scotland to go? Say England, for example, in London, you get Hyde Park. What is that version in Glasgow, Scotland?
I know where you're going with this one. This guy's
two places. So,
I know where you're going.
We've got Glasgow Green. I'll say Glasgow Green first. And then you've got KG.
KG. Just
Kelvin Grove
Park. See, bro even knows like that.
You know, I've actually not been to. I've only been to like 3 times. You know.
Really?
I've been to Carl's Green more times, but
That's not enough appearances though.
that's enough.
Kelvin Wolf Park, man, back in the prime days.
That was the place to be.
Funny
Yeah, yeah. Network.
That was about 2021 things. It wasn't 2021.
Yeah, it was live, like Jenny, like people from all over.
Yeah, everyone was just there.
People from Edinburgh coming over, bro. That was
It was a place to be. Yeah.
What did people do?
Network.
Yeah.
Get to know people.
Together, you know.
Find your significant other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, that was when I think I knew like most people.
Start to expand, yeah. Like,
So, yeah.
It was just good to go out, you know, enjoy like nature, you know, sun, you know, play with your dog, talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Some people had speakers, you know.
Yeah.
It was like it was the vibe, you know.
Yeah. Were you connected with people on social media much? Like,
I would say yeah. By that point, I was
Yeah.
It was a big thing. Like even Snapchat was popping. Like private stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, even lockdowns and saying it was. Yeah, it's actually.
I was the peak times for that.
So there's actually a good black community in Scotland. There's a common misconception that there are no black people in Scotland.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that, bro.
Yeah.
When you go other places, bro. Obviously, I don't want to die for a topic, but other places you tell people from Scotland, they're like, what?
Yeah,
there's black people in Scotland.
Yeah. They get shot.
I literally made a video this on TikTok. Like when I went to Manchester, I was speaking to this girl, and like, obviously just as friends, obviously. Yeah, just let me make that one very clear. So she was like, oh, like you're from Scotland. I was like, yeah, like I'm from Scotland. I had to even show her like my location, like like places I've been. Like
it's crazy.
she didn't believe me. Like, I had to show her like my driver's license and stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually she believed me, but like it's just I find it funny how people don't believe there's black people in Scotland.
When I was younger, I moved to Scotland. Scotland was like, I thought Scotland was like the centre of the world, bro. I didn't really know, like, I didn't really, I heard about London, like stuff that happened in London. When did you like find out that Scotland is not actually like?
I feel like I've always known that Scotland is small.
Okay.
Because I have cousins down in London, so I always go over to. London is just obviously bigger.
Yeah.
It takes like a lot of time to get from place to place.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe last year, you know.
Okay.
Because I recently went on a trip with my friend to London, and it just feels like there's a lot more to do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to do. There's more like shopping places rather than just coming over to here, Glasgow. You can go. You can probably get from south side to let's say West End in like under half an hour.
True.
So, yeah.
True. Have you guys explored Scotland much?
I say like football is like the best way to explore Scotland.
Yeah.
Right? Some of these places that I know, I promise you I would not know the names on it. It's not for football. Like,
Away
games, or like even like school as well, like just different areas, like Scottish Cup. It just gave me like an opportunity to like actually see like Scotland, and there's still a lot more that I need to explore, you know. But Scotland actually is very beautiful, like in terms of like the mountains, like hill climbers, all that kind of stuff.
What place in Scotland have you been to that people would know? Like,
not gonna lie, I haven't explored as much.
I'd say Oban.
Oban? Yeah, I've been to, do you know Isle of Arran? Have you been there?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never
That's place, bro, that is literally like, there's no signal or nothing, it's insane. You need to take the ferry. It's actually.
Okay, so Ardentini, that's one.
What?
Ardentini. That's like a P7 trip.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay. So you know how there's another one that other schools go to. That's similar.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's places like that. I would say people would not, if you're not really from Scotland or Glasgow, you wouldn't know.
Social life and friendships. One of the main things about living in Scotland is that obviously the majority of females are white. How does this affect your, I don't know, not just females, like guys as well, how does this affect your friendship selection, who you're friends with, who you date in relationships as well?
I don't really see it affects me at all. I don't know. I can't.
Maybe not now. Let's touch back in the day.
Back in the day.
When most of the people in your class were white, females, who were you dating, bro?
Okay, yeah, the demographic of people that you would be with will obviously be white.
Obviously, that's like you're in a predominantly white country. Yeah, it makes sense.
Quiet on this one.
Obviously, like, it's a very, very sensitive topic. I'm thinking very smart. I'm very sure. Oh, what's it?
That's why we see a lot of interracial relationships now.
Yeah,
a lot of the guys that went to school with, a lot of them have got white girlfriends now. And I mean, it makes sense. Now, when I go uni now in England, people are like, personally, everyone's my type, but I don't want to say one thing, but like when people be arguing, even on social media, they're like, why there's some Stone Bunny? People say Stone Bunny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like to stand up for people like that because it's like if they were raised up in a particular demographic, like what else are they exposed to? If I was raised up in Colombia, like I'll be with Latina people. It's just demographic.
It's like people only see it as black and white that topic, and there's a lot more to go with it as well.
Definitely.
I think there's no harm in exploring like things like love has no colours at the end of the day, in my opinion, but there's like obviously with social media and people's opinions, there always tends to be like a negative light on interracial couples. But if the love is there and the love is strong.
Let's talk about friendships as well. Let's say now, are most of your friends black or white?
I would say most of them are black.
Black, yeah.
Growing up, I'd say like white, but actually like I still have white friends to this day.
I would say the same.
It's not like I have any white friends. I'll say it's more black.
I agree. I'm the same. I'd say.
Yeah. Why is it that? Why is it black now? And why was it white back then?
Because that's a very good question. I'll say like back in the day, obviously because like I was talking about this whole like I won't say identity crisis, but I would tend to like find myself being friends with people because like obviously moving here and I've not seen many people of my skin color. Like I obviously had to adapt to my environment. Then after a while, as I've grown up, and like being around more people like me, like we had more similarities and things that we go through, struggles as a black man in like the society that I went today. So I was able to connect with them on that level, which was a lot more strong, a lot more deeper to like my white friends. So obviously, it just clicked more.
I would say that's the same as well. And also when you're younger, you don't really you kind of just in your own area. You can't really network. People, so it's more beneficial for you to be friends with people that are closer to your location. Obviously, when you grow up, you can go different places, meet different people, and I'd say the same. I click better with the people that I know right now.
Definitely. That's good. Let's move on to education. Like, do you think growing up in black in Scotland affected like your goals and where you had in the future, where you wanted to be? Because there aren't really any black Scottish role models that you can look up to.
Apart from like two. And like they're big in content. I'll say like maybe like Bash Entertainment.
Oh, Bash Entertainment.
And like Andy. I can't.
Back in the day, I didn't even know them like that. So it wasn't really.
Not too recently.
Yeah, exactly. And not even just in the scope of content creation, like even just whether it's football as well. And there was but a lot of people growing up in Scotland was either a lot of guys in it was football or was it even music wasn't back in the day wasn't really. But the main thing was football. There was Karamoke, but like, was there any example of a black footballer that played at the highest level that actually made it from Scotland?
There might be
there's a lack of role models. Do you think this affected you at all, or it's calm like?
I would say no. Back then, I don't really feel like it affected me. And then
I'm the same.
There was Karamoke, but he hadn't made it to the highest level at that time. But it just kind of motivated you a little bit if you're watching him.
Definitely. Yeah, Karamoke, but if you guys don't know, he played for Celtic, so he was like the golden boy in there. Everyone was watching YouTube videos of Karamoke Dembele. And when you were even out on the streets, people would be like, "Oh, are you Karamoke's cousin?" That's it was insane. Like, just good old days, man. Also, just to link it back to the thing you're talking about with creatives and the entertainment industry, it's not really that emphasized on. in Glasgow, in
Yeah.
Scotland in general,
Like,
compared to England. People are doing skits and you don't get there's not the community is not there in Glasgow. Why is that?
Do you know what it is? I feel like the reality is, bro, like there's this sort of, I won't say shaming culture to like anyone who wants to do anything different, but when people want to try and like, you know, do things out of the extraordinary, like, there's this sort of like monitoring, shaming culture, like, and it's like people like who are involved in like anything to do like with entertainment or like anything to do creative can relate to this. Like there's not really that support until like it starts taking off and going somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So people have that fear. And I think that's what is like causing the lack of creatives.
In that time, you would see videos on YouTube of people doing like pranking their African parents. You don't really get videos coming out of Scotland and Glasgow like that. Like, why wasn't that? Like, I don't know.
Because you can see people like Steps and all those guys, they can go out, film TikToks.
Yes.
You know,
Steps,
there's normal people doing those shots.
It was the MK Free and them guys. What's the name?
Smalls.
That's it. Like,
they can go out and do all those stuff, like, in front of people that are like, just normal people doing their daily things. But I feel like it would be
It's actually guilt culture kind of like. But I feel like now it's changing though. That's it changing. Like there's a lot more people who are like uploading content now. That's it. I think over the years to come, like you're gonna see a lot more content creators from Scotland.
Nice. From Scotland. Let's touch on moments of empowerment growing up in Scotland. When have you been proud of being black in Scotland? Black and Scottish.
When like I started TikTok, like one of my videos, like it literally all it took for my page is like, you know, start getting a lot of engagement. Like obviously I've had some viral videos in the past, but when I started speaking and embracing Scottish culture, like speaking my accent and stuff like that, like I seemed to get a lot of engagement. You know, like in the comments, like people were loving it. Like a lot of mums and that were commenting my videos, oh, your part was brilliant, mate. Like, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's like that's when I'd say felt empowered.
For me though, I don't think there's any personal experiences for me, but I'm not too sure to word it. But for me, I think it's when I see other people are doing well. Like say for example, Manny's doing well, and when I just see like there's starting to be content creators as well, and I'm like, okay, things are improving. That's the way I look at it. Things are improving from the past to now, obviously. So that's when I'd say I feel
nice. Moments for me is when you touched on it earlier, when you travel outside of Scotland, you realise that Scotland is low-key well known. Like, it's actually, you can go to anywhere in the world and people will actually recognise the Scottish flag.
Scottish,
And yes, I feel empowered, and so maybe that's just been, you know, you're part of the minority as well. That's also, you can feel empowerment from that because you're like, people don't know black people are from Scotland. It's almost like you're a very diamond that can't be found everywhere. You know?
It's like, what? How can you be Scottish and black?
You
can just stand up.
It's pretty cool. Another moment can be maybe a Scotland football game is on. Do you ever feel empowered?
what?
Scotland football games.
Oh, okay, no.
Nah, not really. No?
Not really, no.
You don't think so? Fairs.
Not really. What, do you?
Yeah, no. I feel there's a sense of togetherness that I mean there weren't much black football players in Scotland team, but
I feel like if there was, then you know there would be something, some type of connection, something to connect to. There's not really.
You see like black players do well in the Scottish like Premiership, like so. Say for instance, like when players like Calvin Bassey played for Rangers.
That was a good time.
I felt like okay, I'm seeing black people doing well, or
it's a Nigerian as well.
Edward. When he played for Celtic.
That was a good time.
Those good times.
Living in Scotland today, do you see Scotland as somewhere you would stay long term? You know, raise up your family, work, etc.
You know, I would say.
He's thinking.
There's a certain way you can answer this question. I would say long term, if I want to stay in the UK, then I'd be most comfortable in Scotland. But I wouldn't want to live in Scotland for the rest of my life. You know, I'd want to obviously travel, live in different places. But yeah, that's the best way I can answer that question, you know.
Nice.
I'll say for me, like, there's a lot more in the world for me to explore.
Oh, nice.
You know, like, obviously no hate towards Scotland. Scotland's a nice place, like, but I don't see myself living here, like, you know, in the future, like, raising a family. But in terms of like business or like anything further, like, why not? Like, I'll definitely open up stuff. Like, there's a huge market to capitalize from.
Nice.
For sure.
I quite like Scotland, you know. I feel like Scotland is part of like my identity now. I see myself like buying property in Scotland. Yeah. As in like main property. I don't know. Yeah. But genuinely, I don't see myself like completely. You guys couldn't probably desert Scotland completely, but they just I'll always be connected to it. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. What are your advice for young black people growing up in Scotland?
So I'd say for the people that are moving like fresh and just you know coming newly, everything is different. I would say just not to feel pressure. I feel like people you know feel pressure or nervous about fitting in or like not feeling like they are a part of the community. I'd just say there's no pressure, take it at your own pace. That's what I'd say. Remember
your identity, remember where you're from originally. Like, don't lose yourself, that's the main thing. Yeah. And as well as that, if you're going into a new country, respect the culture, like adapt to like the environment, learn like a thing or two, and don't be afraid to ask. Always like capitalize off opportunities to gain more knowledge, That's my opinion.
I like what you said, embrace like where you came from. Like, I remember when I moved here, when people would ask me where you from, there'll be a second or I'll be scared to say I'm from Nigeria, but now I'm really like I'm proud to say that I'm from Nigeria. Obviously Nigeria's got its own little issues there, but I'm proud to say I'm from Nigeria. I grew up in Scotland. It's part of my identity, so take that, use that as your, strength or whatever.
You have to own it as well, like be proud, like see it like with chest, like don't hide where you're from, because this is gonna be controversial, but if you're a black person, like obviously you will be accepted as a Scottish like person nationally, but because of how society is, like they're not always gonna see you as one of them. So it's like it's always good for you to like know your roots.
That's good.
And like be proud of it.
That's good. So for the future as well, I think one thing I want to see as well is like more initiatives for black people. Initiatives. There's some already like Scouts United. We talked about there not enough black people at the top level. Stuff like that. Open, create a pathway. I think we need more of that in Scotland. It'll be nice to see, to shine the light on more black people. What other stuff would you like to see?
I'd like to see more content creators, like
content creators.
Definitely, like even like more business owners too. Like there is already like content creators here, like business owners here, but I still feel like there could be a lot more. Like there's a lot of people who want to do stuff, but we still have that scarcity mindset, contemplating too much. Like there's a huge gap to capitalize in here. Like, it's not
like we not have our own like community of TikTokers, that would be super cool, man.
I agree on that. Even with like sports that are not too much popular with black people, I'd say there needs to be stuff that is black focused. It doesn't have to be just football. I don't know. You can do netball and other stuff as well. It's pretty nice. Any last words? Last words. It's a disclaimer. This is our own personal experiences. It could be definitely. We're not trying to offend anyone or anything in this.
Until next time,
peace.
We're gonna talk about what Love God, who Love God is, what Love God is, and what our mission is. So if you don't know me, my name is Dami Fadun, and I'm basically like the founder of Love God. If you follow our social media, you probably always see these two logos. You probably recognize the one on the left more, because that's the clothing brand. But Love God started on the right. It started in October 2022. I just started posting lots of Bible quotes each day, like every day for literally a year. And then I just felt like I had to do more. And then from that Love God came LUVV GOD Clothing, and that's kind of, so LUVV GOD Clothing functions as a business, but proceeds from the business funds the non-profit of Love God, which is this. So it's that collaboration that births this events that we do. So LUVV GOD Clothing and Love God. On the next slide, there's a QR code. We're gonna start a WhatsApp community. So if you guys could just bring out your phones, scan the QR code, And yeah, join our community. It's just a start. Love God Clothing turned 1 on the 9th of April. So yeah, bigger and better. It's all love, man. That's what Love God is. Love, 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 love.